All right. I know it's Friday. I'm not going to be too crazy here, but I did get a new prop firm evaluation account passed. So I'm in what they call their Blue Live account. I have a 3K profit goal. Most I can make per day is 900, and then they will move me to a live brokerage account. I can then withdraw up to I think $600 out of that initial 3,000, and then trade the balance. So I can make up to 900 today. I'm not in a huge rush to trade. It's Friday. It's options expiration. I usually don't like Fridays. I'm already up um, about 1,500 in my Top Step, my three Top Step funded accounts. So I am not going to go into the weekend doing anything stupid. But I figured if I'm going to take any trades, I'll just take it on live stream. It'll keep me distracted for a bit. I can not feel the need to click buttons, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So just kind of chilling, keeping an eye. We got a 30-minute flip. So inside bar, we look at NQ here. We fix these charts. Keeping an eye on this 30-minute 3-1 with an inside bar here. See if we take the lows or the highs. I might make an attempt, but 60-minute inside bar closes in 23, 24 minutes. It is currently a bit of a hammer. So if we look on the 60, you'll see as it stands, we get this kind of red hammer candle here, but a lot can happen in 23 and a half minutes. So keeping an eye on that too. We'll probably for, wait for the hourly flip. We'll see. But we do have a 12-hour setup in force. There's a 12-hour. You can see inside bar. We are over the candle or at that candle high. So let's mark this 12-hour. Let me mark this on my other screen. 12-hour template. 12. So yeah, maybe I'll be able to squeeze a quick trade out of this, put 900 in, and go into the weekend a happy camper. What is the 12-hour trigger? 795. Yep. It's kind of annoying. I have to redo all my kind of my templates for, what these lines are. I have them all done in Top Step, but not on this broker, so, or not on this prop firm. So just setting up as I go. I like to mark, usually the daily, the 12-hour, the 4-hour. There's nothing on the 4-hour really to mark. It's just an outside bar. Um, I'll mark the 30 inside bar high and low, and that just gives me context for where we're at bigger picture. So got the 12-hour marked here. If we're over that, that setup is in force. I don't want to do anything dumb going into the weekend. It's kind of depressing to, just make dumb mistakes and then have to sit there the whole weekend. It's much nicer to go into the weekend green, stress free. Looking forward to next week. We got double inside days, so there will be volatility coming next week for sure. And I will save my mental capital and prop capital for trading under those, better conditions. But I figured maybe try and take a stab at something here. I'm gonna test something here. Let me see. Substack. I signed up for a service that I can play music in the background. I was gonna see history. I don't remember what this service is. Um, 12-hour back and forth on NQ. Is chill hop? Nope. What's up, Frankie? Next Friday, Good Friday markets will be closed. Yeah, somebody mentioned that to me. Glad you I put the reminder out there. Let me see my account. Gotta be right. Oh, I wonder how I do that on Discord. I have to do a little work over the weekend. Make some background music. I like to listen to music while I'm trading, but I can't do it on YouTube without, um, having playing specific music. Nothing but the rent, Chief. What's up with me? Nothing, man. Going to the weekend. Pretty happy camper. I passed a Top Step funded account. I blew one up yesterday. I made 1,500 in a new combine. I passed it last night. I activated it. I put $500 into that new funded account. Put 1,800 into a Blue Sky evaluation account to pass that in 4 days. So now I have this new, it's kind of like sim funded. I got to make 3 grand and then they'll move me into a live brokerage account. So that was great. Up, 500 and change in my 2 other XFAs. So was able to take a payout of 2390, just shy of 2,400 that should be hitting my account today after just getting an $1,800 payout yesterday. So life is good, man. Just got to remember to not do stupid things. Kind of the name of the game, right? Got to make smart choices, patiently wait for the best setups, and then the money will come. Every time I'm out here, like, I want to make $1,000 today, I want to make $2,000 today, I get myself in trouble. It's let me take good setups, let me scale into winners, and then we'll make some money. And whatever that amount is, I hope it's, you know, more than what I need, right? Really, what I need, a couple $100 is plenty for the day. So I might not get what I want, but I'll get what I need to consider it a successful day and just walk away. Stack base hits, that's all I've been doing. Had a new 15-minute candle here, but still inside 30, inside 60. I do kind of like taking a little starter, but let's see how crazy New York is moving here. We're not moving a lot right now. I wonder what the ATR is. 66 points on a 5-minute candle. Okay. Debating taking a initial entry, and I'm glad I didn't. Inside 60, inside 4 hour. Not a place I want to be. Right. 12 minutes, 27 seconds until we get the new hourly candle. Hopefully, we just stay inside 30. We end up with double inside 30, inside 60 hammer. So, this is the 60. Hopefully, we close. We break the highs. 12 hours in force with some magnitude to about 19,000. So, that's not, I guess that's 100 points. That could be a nice little trade. Glad to hear my comforting voice as you learned about futures. Very nice. Way to go. Pay yourself first. Yeah, man. I didn't take a payout last week. I was eligible. I could have taken a $1,500 payout. I was trying to get more. So I would have, having that extra 1,500 would be really, really nice right now. Don't break the 30 yet. Thousand tick looks kind of messy here. Definitely liking longs. Gotta wait here for this flip. Yeah, little number times a big number is still a big number. It's more about doing it consistently, right? Consistent $200 day is still 4 grand a month. That's if you're not even copy trading, you're just trading a single account, a grand a week, 4 grand a month. I could do 200 standing on my head. Right now I'm averaging about 3 grand a week. So trying to look at my weekly stats, not my daily stats, multiply those to see kind of like what my month should look like, and that's plenty of money. 12,000 per XFA per month. I could take out half. 12 grand in a month is a good month. Hopefully tempted to bite here, but I know the right thing to do is wait for the 3060 to close. We got a little bit of choppity chop here with these inside bars. SPY has moved 16 points from low of day. Yeah, it's a Friday. Things can be very slow and grindy on Friday. I mean, if we look at my Top Step account here, my primary trading account, is this Globex account, you can see my losing day was Friday. Just tends to be. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm like burnout from grinding all week. Solid pullback here, almost 80 points. 8 minutes until the 60 flip, and now things are not looking nearly as good as they were for bulls a few minutes ago. Probably going to go outside 15. It did. See if this VWAP holds or if it sells through. Trying to break the inside 30 to the downside. So looking like a better short now than a long. This nice quick 25 points right off of this VWAP level. That's why I slapped it on my chart there. There's no real strat, kind of target. We did go outside 15er and we're reversing, but I mean, to just have this on my chart and keep an eye on the way that price reacts at these levels, super helpful. Not always just taking trades off them. Maybe at some point in the future, but mostly just kind of watching, experimenting. See if I notice, a pretty consistent pattern. You can see over here we had a pullback. Let's change this. Maybe it's easier to see on the 1,000 tick. Is that not the right level? Something's wrong. Yeah, we're nowhere close. So ignore me. There's a weird thing where this indicator doesn't, you gotta like move your charts around for it to end up in the right spot. So I went outside 15 and quickly gobbled up 6 minutes till the 60 flip. Still inside 30, 64 hour, 12-hour back and forth. But we do only have an hour of trading left. Oh, I wonder how long I can trade these accounts till blue sky. want to do that on that screen. I don't know if it's going to expose any personal data. Bluesky.pro. Let's see my account. Let's see answers. Markets and commissions. When do trades have to be closed by? That's what I'm wondering. I know Top Step is until 4:10 Eastern. Valuation rules. I have to post a message in this Discord here. All right, 4:59 Eastern. So basically until the futures market closes. Top Step, they boot you out at 50 minutes before futures closes. I mean the markets close at 4, but future stays open till 5. So that's kind of cool. Did you hear me say the 4 hours inside, Carl? Yes, you did. Here is, that's the 12 hour. Need to go to the 4 hour inside bar. Got a 3 1. So inside 4 hour, inside 60 is definitely on my beware, don't trade kind of list of rules. Also have an inside 30, so see what happens with the flip in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Might be a setup to take on the hourly, see if I can grab a few bucks and get this account off to a good start. Glad I wasn't lured into longs at this 12-hour trigger because we've pulled back 50 points, 40 points. So this is what I like to do before the flip. We're going to mark the 60 low, 60 high for the inside bar. The 30-minute. And go from there. So now when I'm on the 2-minute time frame, I can see where the 12-hour trigger is when we break the 30 and 60 inside bar, either bullish or bearish, and take a shot at a trade. You have electronic trading hours on, Carl? Yeah, it's MNQ M25. Options degen? I have no idea. Could be. I mean, maybe there's some selling and people don't want to hold positions in over the weekend. Maybe we, rip faces and rally to the upside. I'm keeping an eye on those 30-minute, the 30-60 inside bar is really all I'm watching right this second. Here's the flip. So now all I care about is which side do we break. We got daily, weekly continuity to the upside, but higher time frames are red. So we would be trading like kind of against the day if we short, if I short, but it's could potentially be worth a shot. We'll see. We got power hour here. Might as well hang out until 4 o'clock or so. Unless I just do catch a nice trade and then I'm gonna definitely hop off stream and find something else to do. So inside 5, 15, 30, 64 hour on the flip. Let's check out Top Step TV. See if anybody's in any positions. No, they won't be on for another few minutes. See who's on there, who's trading. I hope there's actually some power this hour and not just sour hour. Power hour has been very hit and miss. I remember when I first started trading, power hour was, could get pretty intense, but I just don't feel like that's happened very often. There have been some squeezes into the close, some rallies and some pretty aggressive sell-offs, but often, at least, what I've noticed is it's been kind of slow. 12 hour trying to go back and force. I kind of want to take a long here, but usually we do it the other way around. We've got smaller time frames triggering higher time frames, not higher time frames triggering with smaller time frames overhead. But mm, see what happens here. Where's next target? I mean, really, 19,000 is a good target. Give me a pullback to the 12 hour and hold this. Let me just hop in like a micro. And I'll add one or two on the 30-60 break. Maybe. Things can change so quickly. It was looking bearish at the flip. The flip happened and buyers just started buying. Very little lower wick on the 15, 30, 60. They're all the same candle currently. And now we're close to breaking the previous candle highs, the inside bars to the upside. Whereas, less than 4 minutes ago, I was ready to short this piggy. You trading now, options DJ, or are you just chilling? Are you done for the day? If you're done for the day, what are you still doing here? Just watching, just looking. Hmm. Decisions, decisions. Can't lose money being patient. You're not going to make money, but not losing money is way more important. So, like, as much as my brain wanted me to click buy when we pull back to this 12-hour trigger, just not thoroughly convinced, and things can change super quickly here. A lot of V shape kind of price action on NQ at the moment, 100 tick. So you've got like this sell off, immediate V shape back down, V shape back up, selling off again. Now, how do you trade this? You could range trade this, like sell these highs, buy these lows, trade these 90 point, kind of 80, 90 point ranges. I take a shot at this. Small risk, tight stop. If this blasts up, just not willing to dig a big old hole for myself going into the weekend. Like I've mentioned, it's not my favorite thing to do. Go into the weekend red, even though I've had a good, I had a good day, night. No need to ruin it. So take a little micro. Maybe I can make $100, $200, maybe more if it just pumps into the close. Catch like 200 points, put an easy $400 in the account on a micro with no stress, or maybe two micros, three micros. We'll see. We're getting near this 30 trigger. Gonna be a place I want to add. So waiting, watching. Double inside 30, breaking bull. Trying to trigger the 60. Wanted to get back in force here. Nice little push up. Past 873 would be ideal. See where my stop is. I think I'm all right. wanted to stay over this 30 trigger here. I'm going to add again. Stop might be a little too tight here. No, don't tag me out. Good thing I moved my stop just a touch. 15-point stop during New York is a little tight, not gonna lie. But again, I'm just not willing to risk a whole lot here. There we go. See the 60 trigger.
Order filled.
Adding. Go. Launch. So 30 stays in force, hopefully. Retrigger the 60. There we go. Just keep grinding up. Come on, you can do it.
Order filled.
Adding again. There we go. Stay in force. 873.50. Push my stop up, nice and tight. Just gonna break even. So risk-free trade at this point. And now we see if they can just hopefully push up to 19,000. 873 would be the hourly target. I'd probably peel one or two, maybe three off, and then leave runners for potential squeeze into the close. And if it doesn't work and I stop out, there's no loss. At least I can say we tried. Oof.
Order filled.
Stopped out. That's pretty annoying. 30 still in force. But yeah, I wanted this to just keep pushing up, not do what it's doing here. Maybe a 60 retrigger, I'd jump back in, but just smaller size, and I won't have won't be able to scale in like I did. I'm not gonna do the 30-60 thing again. 15-minute flip is what happened there. Got a failed two up on the 15er. So 15 opened, selling, red candle. Buyers couldn't kind of keep the momentum to the upside. Maybe they get back up there, but see, I'll take another shot if the 60 retriggers. 30 still in force with 13 minutes. Maybe it's worth it to try and get an entry here. Not a great entry. Yeah, pretty choppy. Looks like low volume-ish. Maybe the last 10 minutes. There's a 16 lot that came in.
Order filled. Order filled.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with this. Unless the 60 gets back up. Rather be minus $58 and be like, all right, made an attempt, was up, over 200 or in change on that. Could have closed some out, but mostly focused on sticking to the plan and not watching P&L. Because if that trade had worked, that could have been a easily $500,000 trade if we pushed up towards 19,000. But that's how I try and get into positions and how I sort of manage my stop along the way. Carl's still trying to figure out why the chart's so far off. Who's doggy? Thinking about power hour move. Saw that. Carl said, "What did you ask me about trading hours?" I wasn't asking you. I was just talking out loud about this prop account. What time I can trade till. So held this 12-hour trigger inside bar high. Still kind of interested in this, but as we get closer to this 30-minute flip,
Order filled.
I'm a bit stubborn when it comes to this stuff.
Order filled.
Hmm. Should I add one more? I still feel like we launch here. But sometimes on the way to getting where we want price to go, it could be a little tricky to kind of navigate and execute well if the market's just not kind of pushing in one direction and keeps going. If it's chopping around and, I don't want to get paper cut to death. Come on, man, just go. Are we going to do it this time? Frankie G in the position at the cash register. Adorable dog. Options Gen's done trading, just watching, wrapping up the 9 to 5. Okay, cool. Still trying to figure out why your chart is so far off. I don't know, Carl. Are you paying for futures data? If you don't have real time data, then the candles aren't going to be exactly the same. Showing on Tradevate, but use TOS for charting. Oh, that's why Thinkorswim charts are whack. They don't open. The 4 hour candles aren't from 6 p.m. Eastern open until 10, 10 to 2, 2 to 6, 6 to 10, 10 to 2. They use a different aggregation period. So I don't know why, but at least I'm back to break even. If this works, I'll squeeze some money out of it. It's not going to be what I wanted if the initial trade had worked, but we can't always get what we want. Sometimes the market likes to play games. Not getting. I mean, it's been 37 minutes here. We're just kind of not getting this push higher, but I still think it happens. 840, 880, 922 gex levels. 840, 880. I got to go back and read your message about what I need to do for that indicator. I did see that you replied, but I got a little hyper focused on trading yesterday. Appreciate the heads up. French fished Demetrius the Third, New York Street. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Doing a little New York dabbling. Um, Point of exhaustion on a Friday can relate. Should be done pointing out some levels. This TOS. Okay, T minus 10 minutes to the flip. I am not best friends with Trump. Otherwise, I would be printing money with insider information. So finally getting this move up. Just a lot of kind of garbage to get there. But it's working. I'm green. I'll take it. Not a home run, but I don't need it to be a home run. A nice like 100 or 200 point launch into close on 2 micros would be a solid $400 win. Um, Options degen if there's no follow through. I'd look to short the double top high a day. Let's zoom out a little bit and see what's what. We're up here at like the upper band of the VWAP for standard deviation. So at least break even this because I'm definitely don't want to take a loss on it. Little pullbacks and then rip higher. I'm completely okay with that, NQ. Just, we can do that. That's fine. Just don't stop me out. Grab some shorts and then rip their face off. Is that too much to ask? Oh, do I run my 60-minute from the top or bottom of the hour? Yeah, on the top of the hour. What car am I buying with my payout money? A 97 Honda Civic with 280,000 miles on it. I think I could probably get that for 6 grand, right? Probably less than that.
Order filled.
Come on, man. Little broad knee formation-y kind of thing going on here. Little sort of, kind of. Just making bulls and bears unhappy. Still convinced this thing is going to push higher. But what am I going to do? Made multiple attempts here. It's not cooperating. Um, Lambo. Yeah, I don't. I mean, look, I would need, multi millions to spend a stupid amount of money on a car. I mean, even just taking it to the mechanic is like for an oil change is like, you got to drop 5 grand or some shit. So, not in that position. Maybe, end of 2025, 2026, I'll be like top 10 on that top step leaderboard. Be slinging 15 minis. No big deal. And we'll talk about upgrading some things. First thing I'm buying if I get some cash is a camper and Starlink, and I'm gonna do some traveling, trade, travel. That's it for like a year. Think you're going to 50K before market close? Trust. You might be right. We would need an epic tweet from Trump. I don't even know what that would have to be. Have to be mind blowing. Why didn't take profit on top against the rule? I just would have been watching my P&L. I wanted 873 and I want really 19K. So I'm gonna hold to my profit targets the best that I can. It's tricky because sometimes I've been up 2 grand in a position and then stopped out break even because it just didn't do what I wanted it to do. I was holding for a much bigger trade attempt. I did get back in that trade and ended up walking away with 1600, but you got to be willing to risk something. And I'm not sure that I always do it right. Like probably just locking up the 2 grand because it was copy trading 2 XFAs would have been a $4,000 day, and just walking away, might be the right call sometimes. But I'm more focused on letting trades play out and try and hit my targets. But that's an option. I mean, it depends on what kind of trader you are. Some people prefer like the more scalpy moves, or if you can catch 10 or 20 points, great. I mean, that was what 828 from this 30 to 820, 65, 30 points. I mean, some people are fine with just taking that 30 points and being happy with it. But I'm not one of those people. I want to see during New York, I want 80, 100 points out of my trades if possible. So I'm willing to, give back 200 bucks to potentially make a grand. Get a Tesla. I do like the new Tesla Model Y. And I think the full self-driving stuff is cool as hell. So, and I'm a tech guy, so I don't, I know people were like, "Oh my God, let the car drive for you or whatever." I'm like, "Hell yeah." Like imagine I could just, come visit family up in Jersey and drive the 16 hours without even barely paying attention. How awesome would that be? Also, that's incredible discipline. What, holding to like profit targets and not watching P&L? I have experimented in the past. I do like to have an idea of where the trade is at, French. Like, I don't like being completely blind because there are sometimes like if it doesn't get to target, quite get to target, but I might look at the P&L and say, "Well, I'm up 700 bucks. That's, I'm fine with that. Close it and then just move on." So, I don't like to be completely I don't like to have no idea what my P&L is. I just, that's why I switched everything to points because I'd rather be keeping an eye out and say, all right, I'm going to take, if I get 40 or 50 points out of the trade, I'm happy with that. Maybe it's not 60 or 100, but 40 points is a good move. I know with my position sizing, that's a decent trade and just close it out. But I do like to, I do like to keep an eyeball on the dollar amount. Options Egen would love to have a Tesla for that FSD. Just don't have charge capabilities where I live currently. Yeah, I would have to figure that out too. But I do, fortunately, I'm not like in an apartment kind of situation. I am in a house, but it's not like it's something I would probably have to install or whatever, which wouldn't be a big deal. But my vehicle is paid off, has 100,000 miles, is a 2015 Sorrento in, it's like a limited, really nice, interior, bunch of nice little features, and my insurance is super cheap, and I don't have a monthly payment on it. So I'm probably gonna like drive that thing until drive it into the ground and give it to my sort of son and let him you know ride it till the wheels fall off, and then I'll get something new. But I don't want to have to take on like a pay another. It's nice not having a car payment. You can look at the P&L on trade though. That's true. Their positions, yeah. It just doesn't affect me. Seeing when I was P&L watching on the actual position where my stop and take profit are messed me up because it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna make $500, but how many points is that? That's what I really need to care about, not the dollar amount. How many points? What am I trying to get out of it? If I'm risking 15 points and I can get 50 points, that's good RR. And whether I have one micro or 10 micros or 10 minis, it's all the same trade. It was difficult for me to use switch to points at first, but I understand why professional traders who've been doing this for a while use ticks on their charts, right? They're talking in terms of ticks. I got 80 ticks out of the trade. I got 100 ticks, 120 ticks, whatever it is, because it's all relative. If you say I made 2 grand on the trade, I mean, was that good or bad? Was that a good trade or a bad trade? I mean, 2 grand to me might be nothing, or might be impressive, and then to somebody else, it's they're hitting 20 grand, right? How many points did we each get? If I got 100 points and somebody else got 10 points, well, obviously I had the better trade. Just because they made more money doesn't mean a whole lot in terms of the mechanics of trading. Yeah, I mean, I kind of do the math in my head too. Really, we should be, we should be trying to stick to consistent position sizes as best we can. Like a max position size that you want to be in when you're at full size, like a start, what's your starter? You can have, X number of ads, and then you're at full size when you get to whatever, and then you're just counting points. How many points am I trying to get out of this trade? The only time I switch it to dollars is when I'm trading evaluation accounts because the only thing that matters there is me getting to the $1,500 mark. So I'm not, and I'll scale in like just I'll be in 2, 3, 4, 5 minis. So I have no idea what the math works out on those. I mean, I know what 5 minis. I need 15 points. But if I'm scaling in, it's just not clear. It's easier to just use the dollar amount and try and exit when I hit 1,500. We have 24 minutes until closey close. And NQ is just not doing a whole lot. Almost got to 873, but couldn't quite make it happen. And now we just pull back and chop around. Again, this is like, less power, more hour. But market on close will be interesting to see how, big money's positioned and whether we kind of rally or dump into the weekend. Also, says great point. 2K full boat versus 2K one contract are very different trades. Yeah, I agree. I'm just trying to be more mechanical and methodical about the way that I trade, not just like randomly doing shit. And if it works, then I don't know what works about it. And if it doesn't work, I don't know what doesn't work about it. It's just taken me a lot of like beating my head against the wall to get to this point where I've been willing to change some of the things, the way that I approach trading. It's been working. I've had a crazy 2 weeks. Been killing it. Not even trading. I mean, trading pretty small size too. Like 1, 2, 3 micros. Like, do I want to make more? Yes, I want to make way more money than I'm making now. But I'm, 3 grand a week is good coin times 2 XFAs. You know, I could survive on that, no problem. Always scale up. I can always add another contract or two when I'm just, when I'm in the zone or when I've been consistent for, the last 30 days or 6 weeks or whatever. It's like, okay, add another contract or two. Just degen, I always use a dollar amount. Makes things easy for this degen. Yeah, I mean, you can trade that way too. Some people would just have like a profit target. They're trying to hit, a grand or something. If that works for you too, that's fine. It's the great thing about trading. We can all do it differently and still be profitable. French fish gonna call it. First day New York session with no chart plus 600. Impressive. You're just using the DOM? I don't even understand how you're trading. I saw somebody do. I told you I saw somebody post on Twitter about it. They were just looking at DOM. They're scrolling up and down, chasing price. They hit, they bought, had a limit order or whatever, set a limit order, and then scrolled down and had a sell order, and they were like, they made $250, and that was that. And I was like, what did I just watch, dude? The f- is going on? Raz, what has changed in these 2 weeks for me? Smaller position sizing. And honestly, not having as much cash as I had to throw around on evaluations and activations. So I've had to treat these accounts much more, take them a little more seriously because it matters if I blow them up. I can't just fire up 5 new combines and pay another grand or whatever it is, 750 for activation fees. I don't have like $1,000 just to sling around. I'm pretty deep in red on my spend, but I'm climbing back. January I was up 5,500, made no money in February, March. This month I'm up about 6,100 so far, and we're only 11 days into the month. So I wouldn't have spent the money if I didn't think I'd be able to recover it. Did I? Was I a little reckless? Yeah. I would revenge trade. Start 5 combines, full port, blow them, start 5 more. Get them to 1,500 each. I just didn't really care. Wasn't keeping an eye on like, hey, I spent X number of dollars. Like, don't trade them like a degenerate. I just tuned that part of my brain out. So not having the option to just blow through accounts has helped, I think. And just patiently waiting for good setups and not, trying not to chase things, just scale in small. But that's really been this year. The end of December is when I started to kind of get my shit together after getting beat up for 6 months straight. I just had to make some decisions about like, am I gonna follow rules? Can I, you know, basically it couldn't continue the way it was going. I was making no money, and it's all I spent. I spent all my time trading. So it was like I either have to do freelance work, I gotta go get a regular job, which I don't want to do, or I gotta hustle up, money in another way, shape, or form. And I'm like, I want to trade. I want to make trading work for me. How do I make that happen? Well, I have to follow rules. I have to have a plan. I have to be disciplined. I have to walk away small red, not plow the account into the ground. Like I just gave myself a real talking to. Or just add more props, exactly. So easy to scale futures prop trading, yeah. I mean, especially with copy trading and whatnot. Dom tape behavior around high volume areas on the Dom. Interesting. Dom has to be traded with options profile. French Fish says, People do it without, but it can be helpful. I've heard of Jigsaw. Never really explored that platform, but 6.5 minutes here until we get some numbers coming in, and we'll see what this market wants to do. It's been very sideways choppy, inside 30 for the last 15 minutes, 14 minutes. This 12-hour over here has been a good kind of place to get in. Holding up relatively well, but again, it's just a bunch of V-shaped, choppy, kind of not great price action on the. I mean, look at this right here. This is just all over the place. Like that's not nice and clean, higher lows kind of a, just a bit of all over the place, rangy sort of mess. 60 back in force. Let's see if they run it up here. Trying to go outside 15. Got a 15-minute hammer. So if it doesn't go outside bar in the next 15 seconds, could go possible compound outside. 2-2 reversal. 2 down green hammer. Back to the upside. But I don't think I'm going to take any more trades. Would have to be, I don't know. I just don't think I'm going to take any more trades. Brent says, if the algo candle is from algos closing your position, couldn't you theorize that it would dump if the market is up on the day? I'm not sure what you're asking, or if that's even for me. If you're talking to Raz about Dom trading, we should get really good trading next week with double inside days, closing near the highs. We got an inside hammer on the daily. All right, look at this daily chart here. Inside, inside. This is a hammer closing at the highs. We would like to see next week this high break and then target up here this quarterly monthly open 411. So that's what I'm watching for. And that's a nice 500 points. So it could be a good overnight trade. I'll definitely be here with bells on Sunday 6 p.m. Eastern. If you guys are bored and want to hop on. So no reason to go, dig a hole for yourself going into the weekend when next week should be easier trading. We'll get out of this inside bar chop. Yeah, they're pretty big ranges, but kind of tricky trading. That was for me. Yeah, I don't know algo candle. I mean, I don't think there's any one algo. I mean, the market's got thousands of participants, many algos, hedge funds competing against each other, institutional investors trying to make their power moves. Like, I feel like some people speak as if there's a coordinated effort by like every hedge fund out there to trade in the same direction and do the same thing. I can almost guarantee that's not what's happening. They're literally trying to beat the shit out of each other. They're competing for, investment money, assets under management. Yeah, Sunday night could get spicy. That's why I'm not trying to be too aggressive, right? I wasn't even going to trade today. I figured I'd take a shot. Yeah, I'm down $60. No sweat. Not even, I just basically feel nothing. Now, if I was down like $500, I would feel kind of shitty about that. But that's why I was trading small size, tight stops. It's just so much better to go into the weekend. I mean, the same thing at night when I go to sleep. Like, it's so much better to go to sleep green and wake up green than red and feel like I need to work harder. Because every day is a new day. I can't, if I'm down 500, I can't come back the next day and say, well, I got to make back 500. I mean, maybe I only have a $200 day. It's got to just be what it is for that day, not a running total tally in my head of, the how shitty I performed last week and how I'm going to try and, quote unquote, make that money back. Brent says, I was just thinking more algos would be in a winning position than losing ones. I mean, I have no idea. Probably using something like Trady Ticks and looking at options data could be helpful, to see whether people are net long or short or in calls or puts. I think I saw a stat like 60, 55%, 60% of all market volume is options, especially with zero DTEs. So I'm sure, there's valuable insights to be gained from looking at that stuff. When do I go to sleep? On the weekends. Like, I did sleep today. I slept in. I didn't trade the open. I woke up at like 11, but I didn't go to bed until I'm gonna say it was like 3:30 in the morning. Didn't sleep at all during the day yesterday. Never took that nap, the old elusive nap. Slept from like 3:30 until about 7. Took my dog for a walk. I think I went back to bed at 8 and slept till 11. and then I've been awake since. So I'm pretty exhausted. Like I'll catch up. I'll probably sleep for like 16 hours tonight, and I'll wake up at like 4 p.m. tomorrow. That's usually how it goes. I sleep excessively on the weekends and then barely sleep during the week. And the affiliate code spam and course coming out? Probably never. I mean, look, if some prop firm was offering me money and I like the prop firm, like if Top Step had an affiliate program, I would probably show, I wouldn't be blasting it constantly, but if somebody said, "Hey, sign up," I'd send them my link. It's free money. I mean, I've done the affiliate thing when I started my company back in 97. It was all registering domains and sending traffic and getting paid for referrals. So like I'm familiar with how that industry works. I'm good at kind of managing the system. I mean, Whelan makes a ton of money from his affiliate codes, so I don't knock him for it. I think some people just I have a problem with people who promote prop firms that they know are shitty just for the affiliate money. That I have an issue with. Like people who are quick to push FTT affiliate codes and then FTT, basically screwed everyone and filed for bankruptcy. There were a lot of people that knew that wasn't like a healthy company, but didn't care. They were just doing the money grab thing. That's what I have a problem with. But yeah, I would love me some free YouTube money or affiliate code money. Shit, why not? Would remove some of the pressure from having to trade if I say I was pulling in like a grand a week or something. But that's why I'm trying to sell my trying to sell some of the domains that I have. Right, that would be money for me to live off for several years and remove the pressure of having to trade to pay bills. And I think I'll probably trade much better. I want to make my money from trading. That's it. I don't want to. I want to share what I know as best I can and try and help newer traders. Or if anyone can learn something, avoid the mistakes that I've made, and I get paid from trading, then why do I need to do any other hustles? I wish I had dgen.com. That might have to go on my radar as like a domain to see if it's for sale, see who owns it, see what they're asking for it. Let's go to dgen.com and dgen.com. Can't spell legend without dgen. Join our waitlist to get beta access and receive updates. I don't know. There's a Discord username and email to join a waitlist for something. I don't know what it is. Wonder how long that's been, this waitlist has been here. I would love to have that domain. I wanted to get parabolic.com when we were trying to name stat. I wanted parabolic, but it was like I think they want like 80 grand or something for the domain, and that was a hard sell. Like, for me, I was like, oh, okay, that's not terrible. But some of the other partners were like, what? You out of your damn mind? Like, dude, it's like real estate. You get a good name, you hold on to it, you flip it, sell it for basically what you paid or more. They typically only go up in value. Domains have not like lost value, at least not good ones. But I thought that would be a good name. Dgen, I would like even more, but looks like somebody's got some plans. Lockdownt3.com. Yeah, I've looked at that one, too. I used to spend hours and hours and hours. I mean, I eventually would write, I wrote automated tools that would do scanning of every word in the dictionary to see if they were registered, when they expired. I would start submitting registration requests near the expiration dates. That's how I got, a lot of my domains. I paid the $100 registration fee and then flipped them for 75,000, 100,000, 200,000. So like those are my biggest, risk return kind of investments that I've ever made. But I would sit here and, just I would do lookups on names for, I'd just be like, I wonder if this is available. How much is this? Who owns this? Is this website even working or not? Let me just see if I can get in touch with who owns it. Yeah, I did. That's what I did for years and years. It was kind of fun. It was like collecting Pokemon cards or baseball cards or, I don't know, memorabilia. Aggregate.com. Some foreign, oh, aggregate. Probably just in the pronunciation. It's a construction company. Aggregates, mortar, ready mix concrete, cement. They probably paid a pretty penny for that. Just redirects to their .co.uk domain. That's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to find a plumbing company that wants to buy pipes.com and blast pipes.com all over their trucks and their, marketing material. And I mean, that would be a sick name for like a company that's doing a couple mil a year to like up their game. And I saw a pest control company had bugs.com. They probably paid a few hundred K for that. Like they're I forget what the name of the company is, but they use bugs.com like as on all their marketing material. So I'm like, there's got to be a plumbing company that wants pipes.com and recognizes the value and how just tier one that name is. Super memorable, small, short, one word. Only good investment you made was done a ton of Shopify stock. Yeah, Shopify kind of went through the roof, huh? Egregious. I think that's kind of hard for some people to spell, maybe. Like that's the trick with domains. They got to be short, memorable. Try to avoid things like for, having like the word for FOR or FOUR in the name because when you say the domain out loud, you don't know which one it is. So there was a skill to it for sure in finding good names that other people wanted. And then I sold so many of them for so cheap. I could have pretty much been retired at this point in my life if I didn't waste a lot of the money that I got from domain sales and had been patient and tried to extract max value. I basically would fire sale. Like I would run out of money, I would need money, I would flip something for 90K and then burn through the 90K and then hurry up and find somebody to buy that wanted to buy something else. I wasn't like I sat on it and said, "No, you want it, it's going to be 200K." And if I don't sell it for 5 years, don't care. Like if you want that name, I'm the only one that's got it, so sillybitch.com. I have a whole collection of, domains I'm not even going to mention because I don't know, some people might get offended, but like I used to own nipple.com. Uh, what else do I have? I own ballsack.com. Some funny names. Quite uneventful, guys. Not gonna lie, just pretty garbage. So happy with my decision to just be patient, chill. Made an attempt, made several attempts, didn't work. Kept my red day small, and that's the name of the game. That's all we need to do is show up and try and keep our losers small. We take our shots, we shoot our shots. Trades either work or they don't. Try and move on. Beansack. What about balls? Like somebody probably registered. Somebody else has that. It's probably some porn company. Or like let's actually. I'm gonna pull it up on my other screen here. Let's see. It's Friday. We're just having fun hanging out. Oh, balls.com is actually a company. Looks like a landing page, but it's all sports related. Balls.com about Balls.com is about all types of balls used in sports such as volleyball, lacrosse, golf, and soccer. Pretty unusual to see a domain like that not get snatched up by somebody in the adult business because that's where all the money was back in the day when the internet started. Oink.com, that's funny. Oink.com. Nothing on it. I wonder who owns that. Web server returning an unknown error. It's like not even, it's just not being used. Say our collective brains, we could come up with some really cool domains to use for something. I don't know what, but I didn't know what I was going to do with pipes.com and bongs.com back when I bought them in like 99 or 2000. I've held on to them for 25 years. Most of the time they were just didn't even pull up a web page. But I did love that business. Anyway, guys, all right, I'm going to peace out. Enjoy your weekend. Relax, prepare for Sunday. Should be interesting. We're closing up near the highs here. So maybe we get that inside day hammer up, catch a nice 500-point move, and yeah, with a little size. So that's what I'm looking forward to. See what happens. Appreciate you guys. Have a good weekend. I'll see you.